My name is Crystal Brown. My kids are Alicia, Christopher, Jasmine, Brandon, and Wednesday. And they came here from kindergarten to 8th grade and graduated here. And then my son went off to Roman Catholic. A lot of people don't understand that you go through a lot of things at home. And when you send your kids to school, you don't want to have to worry. I have a lot of trust issues, and bringing my kids here, I've learned to gain trust. Trust me, because it took a long time. Sending them to a school that is like St. Martin's. I mean, these people, they care. I remember when I met Sister Nancy, oh my God, I was driving a bus for SEPTA. I had got a job. I went from welfare to work, and I got a job. And my kids were, public school, and I was worried and I was stressed. I'm in stress all the time. I was driving down the street on Lehigh Avenue, and I saw this lady, this white lady, chasing these little black kids to the bus. I asked the kids, I said, who that? And they said, that's my principal. I said, if that's your principal, that's where I want my kids to go. I took the number and I called the school, I think the next day. And I said, how do I get my kids in here? And they said, well, you have to pay for it. I'm like, oh, shit. And then they said, well, you can get this thing called BLOCS. And I was like, what? What is that? BLOCS. I'm thinking it's through rough. And they said, no, you go through it and you apply. And if your income is low enough, then you can get possibly a scholarship. And I was like, whoa, I'm doing it. Like, I'm going to do that. And then when I got accepted, it was like I had hit the lottery, because then I could take my kids, drop them off at this school, go to work, and don't have to worry. When I tell you that was like, for me, it was the best experience. When I was 8 years old, my father molested me, and molested me for almost a decade after that. If you have a person like Sister Nancy was, all right, I'm not going to get all emotional, but she cared. She really cared, and her staff cared. And they saw me struggling, and they helped me. Down to Father Ed, when he was the pastor of the church, he would call me and say, what do you need? Do you need food? It was more than just my kids coming to school. It was like we had a whole family of people that cared about me. Father Ed will call me. I remember when I got my gas turned off. He didn't know. And he said, what's wrong? I said, everything is okay, Father Ed. He said, no, it's not. Talk to me. I said, no, I'm fine. And they taught me it's okay to ask for help. I didn't before. Like, my pride was, when you are molested, you go through this by yourself. When I tell you they loved me, if you can help somebody by putting them into a place like this, they really saved my life. There's no other way I can say it. They took me out of the depression that I was in. When I cry, I'm crying because I'm happy, because they literally changed my life. Good evening, and thank you for having me. Thank you, Mr. McAwee, for inviting me. When we talk about abuse, I was abused by my father for a long time. And October the 1st, 2006, my story hit the front page of the Philadelphia Inquirer. My father, my biological father, got me pregnant. And my 2 children who have muscular dystrophy are my father's children. And I deal with that every day, right? And I'm not crying. I don't want you to feel sorry for me, right? Because I've turned what I've been through into a nonprofit where I help people and I give back. But I didn't learn this. Thank you. I learned this from St. Martin's. I didn't know it before. I didn't know that I could be so caring. I was angry. I was angry all the time. I wore black because I was hiding. Now I do it because I lost 82 pounds, so I'm trying to show it off. But I give back now because they showed me love. When I took my daughter to that school and my son to the school, it was like, well, first of all, they were in public school, and it's nothing like Catholic school. The education that you get, the parents, they're nuns, and they're not even parents, but they're parents. Sister Megan, Sister Nancy, their family. Father Ed, he was like a father. I never had that experience. For somebody that showed me love, he didn't want anything back. No hidden agendas, no nothing. He just wanted to care about me. And I was like, whoa. I remember one time, my son, Brandon, was late for school, right? He said to me, Mom, I'm late again. There goes Sister Nancy, kind of duck her, right? So she saw us coming in, and I was trying to sneak past, so she couldn't see us. And she said to him, she said, Brandon, I'll see you at 3 o'clock, right? And he said, Mom, I need to talk to Sister Nancy about something. Because first of all, they taught them about speaking up, right? They taught them about having independence and having their own mind. So Sister Nancy said to him, I'll see you at 3 o'clock for detention. And he said to her, well, Sister Nancy, can I ask you a question? And she said, yeah, Brandon, of course. He said, well, why do I have to have a detention when my mother drives me to school? I said, he threw me under the bus, right? What's wrong with this kid? I didn't raise him right. So what she said was, you're right, Brandon. Miss Brown, I'll see you at 3 o'clock. What? You see who? Not me. I'm going home. I'm off from work. But 2:30 came, right? 2:40 came. I got in my car and I went to school and I took the detention because what she showed us was we had to be accountable, right? We had to be accountable for everything that we do. I took the detention. The kids laughed at me, right? The teachers were taking pictures of me. But what I showed my son was you have to stand up for what you believe in. And he was right. I was responsible for him being late. This is definitely a family. Father Ed, you know I love you, right? Mr. McElwee, Mr. Levy, I met later on in life. And there are some good people out here. If you can help somebody, do it. I mean, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? You get like a tax write-off, and you can, you know what I mean? You know it's true, right? Give back, right? Give back to some kids, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it will make a difference in these kids' life. Because these are the same kids that's gonna take care of you when you get older, right? I mean, these are the same kids that are gonna be doctors and nurses, and if you guys can help, please do. I mean, make a difference in a kid's life because there's so many kids out here that would go to Catholic school if they had help. But there's no help out here unless they get BLOCS scholarships, right? So y'all make sure y'all